So to be continued. So Sheldon and I would be so we okay. Sheldon hipped me too. So I would go to his crib. Let me give you a story. Here's a really fun story about Sheldon. So I started driving really late. Got my license late in my early 30s, and I bought a used car, a Ford Taurus. In fact, this was in 20 mid 20s. I mean, like the 2006, I think. And I had to get my stickers and all that jazz. Sheldon lived in a studio loft, a huge loft, photography loft, where he lived there too. And I was like, I gotta get a sticker and all this. He's like, yeah. He said, but you can. That was a big garage in the back of his building. So he's like, you can just park your car, leave your car in the back of my building until you get your stickers. And I was like, cool. So he would look out for me on that tip. We would discuss. We used to love talking about the movie Mystic River. Sheldon was the one who told me that the wife in Mystic River was happy that Sean Penn's daughter was killed because she felt like she was always second fiddle to his daughter from his first wife or the first girlfriend. And he felt like, and that their daughters was second fiddle, third fiddle to his first daughter. So she was jealous of that relationship. And so Sheldon was like, no, she's happy. She is happy, and she's faking the funk. And when Lawrence Fishburne and Kevin Bacon interviewed him, she's pretending like she's all torn up, but on the low, she's really happy. And I was like, I never thought about that, Sheldon. He's like, I'm just saying. I'm trying to tell you. That's what Sheldon would always say. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And so that's just so funny. And then I remember going to his house. I would like drive to his house once I got my stickers and all that stuff. And we're like, Sheldon, I'm bored. What are you doing? Nothing. I said, can I come over? Yeah, come on over. So he had a whole library of movies. Like, it was like movie heaven for a person like myself who love movies. He just had a whole, and he like this huge living room space, and then his bedroom, and he was a singer-songwriter too. I forgot to mention, he was a singer-songwriter. He was a guitarist. And he was working on, I'm all over the place. We love Claudine. We love Mystic River. We would watch Sideways. He hit me because he had Sideways and I had never seen it because it didn't look interesting to me. The trailer didn't. And then remember he was in in the living room and I was in his bedroom and I was watching and I was literally in tears laughing. He's like, I'm trying to tell you. We watched, what's the movie with Jamie Foxx and Jada Pinkett and Tom Cruise? Woo! What is the name of that movie? I can't remember it. But he was saying, look at Jada, like I've never seen her in a role like that. He's like, I'm just saying, that's what I'm trying to tell you. What was his phrase? That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Something like that. I can't remember. But I was like, dang. Oh, Collateral. Collateral. We used to watch that movie and dissect it. And again, he was always bringing up points that it just didn't even dawn on me. He's like, I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just like... Oh, with my movie Darkseid, the trailer, I had it where I put Darkseid first when I edited the trailer. And I showed Sheldon a cut. And he was like, no, you should put a China Old film first. Then put Darkseid at the end of the trailer. I was like, oh my God, yes. So a lot of the creativity, he has influenced my creativity greatly. But I'm gonna miss talking about films and people, and he just has such a fascinating life. He started writing a movie called Sheldon, a feature film, because he had such an interesting life, and he met so many interesting people being a photographer, and in his travels. And he wrote this piece, and I remember there was a scene between two women who were in love with the Sheldon character, and a fellow actress, filmmaker, Natasha Parker out of Chicago, he had us act out the scene. And he used to love what we did with that scene. He's like, ooh, China, man, when you and Natasha did that scene, man, that was so good. And he would just get so much joy out of that. And then a scene he wrote with the same movie with Rolando Boyce, there was a scene that he and Natasha Parker did that was a part of his film. And he was like, Rolando, he would just sit there and he would wait for her. He wouldn't even turn around. He's like, man, he used to kill. So Sheldon would get so excited about some of the scenes that we acted out for him. We would talk about it and reminisce, and we both didn't like plastic bags. We would like plastic. Like if we would go to a restaurant, you know how you have doggy bags? We did not like the idea of getting like a plastic bag. We're both plastic bag. When I found out he didn't like them either, we were like, well, you don't like them either? I'm like, nope. So that was funny. We were kind of bag snobs. We wanted like fancy bags. What else was it about Sheldon? Sheldon had locks when I met him. I was literally 21 and he was 33. Okay? We were babes. We were babes in Chicago. And Sheldon had this big, huge apartment in Hyde Park, which is where I lived. I moved to a year later, 2 years after I met him. And he would put on music for the photo shoot I did for him for the first time. He had music. And Sheldon introduced me to Shantae Moore's music. And I love her so much. So I know when I hear her music and I follow her on IG, I know I'll probably cry. I know I'm going to cry. I'll probably cry when I watch Mystic River. I'll probably cry when I watch Sideways and Claudine. It's just definitely when I listen to Shantae Moore. Because that he introduced me to. Because he would play that music while we were doing the photo shoots. Sheldon, he just was, I just loved that he was so laid back. I used to make fun of him being so laid back, but honey, if you cross him, he's gonna give it to you. And he was so spiritual, like he was like, he was very connected. He was very conscious. He didn't like racism. He didn't like the turn the other cheek. He was not about that life. Anyway, I just want to share that about Sheldon. I'm trying to think of some other things that just made me. One time he said he shared with me that he was on the bus and he had a cold. You know how when you got a cold and you know how you try to repress the cough? He said he was coughing so much he got off the bus before his stop because he would want to irritate people. And let me tell you something. When he told me that, I was in tears laughing. Tears, because I think everybody's been through that. He's like, I got off the bus, China, because I'm just like, So, and we made fun. We didn't like people who do those church mimes. We cracked up about that with my friend Crystal Lagar, who passed away. I'm going to miss calling him. And when I would call Sheldon, we would just start laughing. Because I think he was like, what is China about to say now? What's going on now? So, we would just laugh. Like, hey, Sheldon. He'd be like, hey, China. We start cracking up laughing. And then we would begin our conversation. And every time I wanted advice about men or just life, or I wanted to vent, I could go to Sheldon and talk to him. And he would always have wise advice. And yeah, I saved his text message, his last one, which was July 31st. I'm just going to do it. God bless his sister. I know he loved his sister, all of his siblings. I'm not sure how many he has, but shout out to Verbena, the one who was caring for him now and for his funeral services. But I'm not sure if that was her. If she's the sister who was a background singer for Luther Vandross. He loved talking about how he would just quit his job and get in a car and drive to New York from Chicago or Michigan or wherever and stay with her. She had a beautiful loft, and she sang background. She's a part of a group, a background group that sang for all these big stars, and he would hang out with her and spend the night at her house and meet all these stars with Ashford and Simpson, his sister. So he's very proud of her, and yeah. So that's all. I just want to document this, and this is the day he transitioned, and I love him to death. And yeah, that's it.